On Wednesday, February 7th, 2018, Comcast brought a busload of social impact investors, many of whom were tied to venture philanthropy and educational technology, to the Feltonville School of Arts and Sciences to tour the school as an example of innovation. Allison McDowell and another neighborhood activist attended that event, welcomed the visitors, and shared some information regarding what we really wanted in our schools, and that we wanted our schools to be fully funded before they were innovated, and we didn't necessarily appreciate innovation from outside impact investors. So this is a video that documents that morning's action, and I hope you will find it informative.
Here today, the Comcast company is sponsoring a group of sort of innovative entrepreneurs as part of one of their innovation summits to come and see a school that they would that's doing innovative things, I guess. And so we're here today to sort of contest that narrative. We have a little bit of a flyer here. You can see it says funding before innovation, and it's talking about things that the schools need here. And Newberg just came out. She's with the district. My understanding is she and Melanie Harris are going to be doing a big innovation digital learning program up in Allentown soon. So she's part of this program today. We have our banners out. Again, these are coming in pretty handy. Public schools, not private profit. Our children are not data, human capital, or impact investment opportunities. And really, before you innovate us, could you fund us and make sure that we have human teachers managing our children's learning, because teachers come before technology.
School, because it is an active community and the kids are learning and there's a lot of stuff going on in here. So,
can you speak to the situation with the turnaround stuff briefly, or do you?
I don't really know that much about it. I know that the school has made a lot of progress since last year, and now the district is praising us for like the most achieving middle school, and what that means, I hope, is that they're going to give us back what they've taken away. We need translators. We need, there are a lot of children in here who English is not their first language. We need more people to work with them. We need our librarian back. We need more books. We need more teachers.
Right, but there's a process right now, right, where there's some community meetings coming up.
There's a meeting tonight, and I'm hoping that they're going to come. The district will come in and say, "We're going to give you everything you need back."
and let you be in charge of deciding how you use it, right?
That's exactly right.
Just to sort of get back, revisit this. It's been a couple years, but as you guys, some of you know, I was really active in the opting out of end of year high stakes testing movement. And so the Feltonville 6 teachers at Feltonville took a stand against these high stakes tests and use of data to profile children and their teachers and schools back in 2015. And so we took a stand against that. Obviously, it has evolved into a sort of digital learning, testing all the time format. We are still contesting that. Feltonville serves predominantly a lot of students living in poverty, a lot of students of color, many ELL populations, students for whom English is a second language. And what we're seeing now is with the rollout of these corporate online digital education modules, they started out maybe 45 minutes or so a week early on, and have since moved into like maybe 3 times more of that. We're still waiting. The rain is picked up. It's a little drizzly. We did just have a gentleman come in who didn't seem to be part of the party as a whole, but was locally based, said that he's works in data analytics and has now moved on to education, and encouraged me to think of the good parts of this. He does computer coding, when I was asking him about the issues around data mining, and his big concern was that schools weren't positioned to best leverage the data mining, didn't truly see data mining as a problem. Also, he was also very familiar with social impact investing. So that is interesting to note. I did not get the name of the company or organization he's affiliated with, but clearly there are people who are transitioning from data analytics into the ed tech field, who are working locally, who are looking at ed tech within the context of social impact investing. So I think that's important. Before we get innovated, we would like to be fully funded.
Hey.
Oh, yeah, hey, yeah.
Are you with the district? Or are you with
No,
Comcast?
I'm just an entrepreneur. I'm just a lowly guy trying to make a living. You know?
Okay. And what are
Yeah.
you trying to make a living off of?
Well, tech, unfortunately. No, not tech.
Well, but the kids are using the
I've
tech,
kids of my
right?
own,
Like,
you know?
well, but like a lot of this is about big data, right?
Yeah.
Like collecting data and using it, and there's profit in it, but kids are sort of in this equation, so that's what
I see.
we're.
That's what you guys are.
Well, the kids in these schools are starting to use a lot of like really rigid online learning programs and test prep programs and programs that are built on data mining, and they're not programs that are meant to empower students. And we have all these gaps, so we don't want a device to replace teachers.
Yeah, well,
You know?
I would totally agree with that.
Challenge of talking about technology in underfunded districts where students don't have a lot of things they need, and where technology is getting technology into schools is seen as sort of unconditional progress. And as a parent, I was talking about sort of my line in determining if technology is helpful or harmful is if you have a program that your child needs to log into with a unique identification number, that essentially means that program needs to learn your child and sort of build on all their data that they've used whenever they've logged into this program. And for me, that would seem to isolate the child from the teacher. And that's, I expect to have professional, certified human teachers and respect their professional judgment. And when you hand that over to an algorithm, many of which can be, problematic, racially biased, that sort of thing, that starts to become very dehumanizing. It's a dehumanizing form of education. So as a parent, programs that require these unique logins, I think, are a problem. Having education that is online content, education playlist that is about consuming information that is decided by corporate interests and is not about creating, is not about empowering students, is a problem. And I think we need to start having this discussion because technology, there are different types of technology. Technology is power. Again, we're looking at the School Reform Commission is examining 2 resolutions next Thursday at a meeting where they would propose to use $20 million towards online learning and virtual classes and data management. So, let's have a public discussion about that. Here we go. Got a lot of folks coming in. Landmark Ventures, social. Oh, okay. Oh, they're not interested. Okay. So, good morning.
How are you?
Oh, they're not going to take any. Here you go.
Want to learn anything. We represent the
Here you
parents.
go. Here you go.
Sorry.
Oh, you're too busy. There you go. Oh, social summit. Okay. All right.
Thank you.
Yeah, seems to be a lot about social things. Here we go.
Thanks from us.
Thank you.
Community.
Yeah, here you go.
Thank you.
Hi. How are you?
Hi.
Hello. How you doing?
Do you mind me asking, what's the name of the group? Social Innovation Summit. Okay, cool. Yeah, that's what I was thinking.
Just a lot to ingest, and fundamentally, I agree with you. The question I have is, how do we organize the community around this stuff?
Right.
And I think it's going to be very hard if we do it on the level of global technology. I think
No, I agree.
You know what I mean? That's where I'm having such a problem with it. I agree with everything you're saying. Intellectually, but this is a community in need.
I mean, are there messages that you think would resonate? Because that's what we're trying to figure out is like, how do we build a campaign that's...
I'm not sure. I don't think you can build... I think it's hard to say, we can say it to these entrepreneurs, but how do you say to the parents, we don't want our kids to have computers because they're going to data mine them?
Well, I think it's different that we're saying we don't want them to have computers. It's these systems that they're using.
Right.
Perhaps it's not the devices themselves, but the systems that are at play.
Right, but we have to be able to convey... I think all these things are what we need. We need smaller class sizes, more teachers, more books, more kids working collectively and not, sitting alone at a computer.
Right. So if you had the 20 million, so the SRC is like looking at this 20 million next week.
And what are they planning on doing?
Well, they would like to spend $10 million on contracts to these adaptive learning systems, which are like iReady and Achieve 3000, and virtual classes, which
honestly, if you want to do cyber education, we have a ton of cyber charters. Like if that's the method of education that you would like, those options exist.
Right.
We don't really want cyber education virtual classes in our schools. We're choosing neighborhood schools because we want to learn face to face. So that's half of it. The other 9.5 is for cloud-based services with Pearson, which would aggregate student data and deliver educational content.
I mean, I would take that money and put a librarian back in the school, and I would put 20 kids in the classroom instead of 35, and I would, make it a community school where people in the community can come in and use the facilities of the school. That's what I would do with the money.
Right, a community school that where the community members themselves are the primary voice
Yes.
of what their needs are.
Yes.
Yeah.
This is a needy community, but it's also a very committed community, and it's very active.
Well, we're doing a little bit of an education campaign. So are you, the Social Innovations Forum, is this like social impact investing type of thing, like technology?
I am, yeah.
Yeah.
Everybody's different.
Yeah,
but
so
I'm
we're...
a social impact investor.
Oh, okay. So, so our
Well, I
focus
don't wanna be
is...
on camera.
Yeah, okay. No, that's all right.
I would have a conversation with you.
Yeah.
So the thing we do understand about children is they learn better collectively, and they function better collectively, and they have to have a responsibility for each other and for the community. And
Here you go. Oh, no? There you go. Thank you.
Sure, thanks.
Thank you. There you go.
Awesome.
There you go. There you go.
Thank you.
Yeah. How are you? Yeah. Hoffman Foundation. Oh, you don't want to learn? There you go. No. Okay.
we're with the community. We'd like to learn what we think about it.
Queen Luciani Trust. Go. Okay. Wow, so there's a lot of folks here.
So to me, the thing I'm taking away from this is that these people coming into our school don't care what the community thinks. We're innovators.
Well, no, they're investors. See, that's the really interesting thing. It's social impact investing. So we were talking about this as the social impact investment opportunities. So Kaufman Foundation, I saw someone there. I saw someone with batteries getting a little low. I'm not sure how much longer I'll be able to... Yeah, seems like we're probably winding down shortly. I may log off, but you guys get the gist of everything. This has been pretty fascinating. Definitely, Feltonville School of Arts and Sciences is at the epicenter of the Social Innovation Forum and impact investing, and definitely the focus of this social impact is technology-based.